Welcome to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host, Joel, the same face you've been staring at 76 weeks in a row. You're that bored on a Thursday, huh? I know I might have had some of your worry. We started a little bit late, but the show must go on. And no matter what the technical difficulties may be, we're here. We got some 3D printing news to talk about, some new products from different companies, maybe a certain one that you guys may or may not know. Right there, that one. But we also have prints to show off in our community prints that are shared on our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. If you're not there already, you should be, because we give away stuff. We share your community prints through the show, and we just have an overall good time. But we also have a guest. We have a guest every single episode. If you're new here, a new guest every episode, 76 episodes in. And tonight we've got one that has been doing, excuse me, there's a critical missing person alert. It's actually near me. Okay, sorry for that interruption, but yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We're gonna get into it, but before we do, make sure you type in I am awesome. If you're on YouTube, type in I am awesome. If you're on Twitch, type in I am awesome. You both are getting entered. Dan Adams, thanks for being the first one to comment in the chat before the show even started, which showed me that it was working for the YouTube side of things without even knowing he was testing things for me. So much appreciation there. But with all that said, let's get right into hot and headlines. And first up, we're going to have something that I'm familiar with. You guys are probably familiar with the Poly Dryer. Like, wait, didn't that come out like last year? Like, what are you talking about? Poly Dryer. We have finally listened to the people, as Polymaker normally does. You can now buy the Poly Dryer dock separately. So whether you have been saving up all the boxes and you just need a heater, you need an extra one, you want extras, you want to take the modular aspect of it and put it into different projects, you can now do that. You can now just buy the dryer dock. So a lot of people have been waiting for it. It is here. There's already been tons of mods even before this release for what you can use this on, whether it be mounting it to your AMS, to your box turtle. Repcore may or may not be coming out with a new thing. You'll see it in the emails of the Repbox HD high drying, where it integrates the Poly Dryer into it. So you're not just getting the Repcore quality contained box with desiccant, keep moisture out, to store your filament. You're also going to have the drying aspect to it tenfold. You know, I think there's a 1, 2, and 3 heater option possibly. I don't know the details, but keep your eye on Repcore because they should be releasing that soon. I don't have any other information, so I apologize. But it is available now on the website, $59.99. It's the same dock that you've had. I think they did some updates for fans and things like that, but still beeps. I know people have been asked for an option to turn the beep off. That's not there yet. Overall, just expect it to be the Poly Dryer that you know, minus the box. So efficient airflow for many different projects you can throw it at. Next up, we have another hardware release from Creality. We've known this is coming since Rapid TCT when they made the announcement. The K2 Plus was just the very first one. They now have the family of K2, of the K2 and the K2 Pro. K2 is not released yet though. This is going to be the K2 Pro. It is a 300 cubed printer. It's pretty much the smaller version of the K2 Plus. You can buy it right now. I think you can only buy it as a combo. I didn't see it as sold as a separate device. It's combo with the 300 cube, 20,000 Excel, 300 degree hot end, 110 degree bed, active heated chamber temp up to 60 degrees Celsius. So kind of everything that you're used to seeing. But it's going to be available on August 24th, again for $1049. Will they sell it separately? I'm sure. Why they don't have that as an option right now, I don't know. But if you're interested, it's you can go follow now, and they'll notify, I think, when it becomes available. I think it's August 24th. So keep your eyes peeled. Next up, we're going to talk about a school, which is, it was odd reading the article because it's the California Area School District. It's in Pennsylvania. Nothing to do with California. It's not in a city called California. So it didn't make any sense, but I'm sure there's a story behind it. We're not talking about the naming of the school. We're talking about the fact that their superintendent is getting praise because this 3D printing farm you see in the background, which there's, I think she said 34 printers, is something more of her doing. It's not the 3D printing robotics club, other classes. This is what she has set up, and she has found not only, of course, to give use to the students to 3D print, learn things about 3D printing. One of the main focuses is getting musical instruments into the hands of these students. It is a little bit lower income area, so it's not easily affordable, especially a violin. They can be very expensive. You found out I can 3D print a pretty decent violin that sounds good for about $50. So that's what they're doing. They're providing musical instruments through 3D printing. And of course, as a kid, one thing to maybe have some interest in learning, but now you can customize your violin. You'll see the yellow and orange one here in the picture, a lot of red ones. Just a really cool thing to see being used in education, but also using it as a tool to provide things to students that normally wouldn't have access to these. So awesome. Hats off to her. And I did not put her name down. So hats off to the superintendent over there. Next up, we have another release. It's been a week of releases. Time after time after time. The Snapmaker, of course, we've talked about that enough, but that went live. It's being very successful on Kickstarter. But that's not this. This is the Cheaty Q2, and it is Cheaty. I bounced back and forth to try to prove exactly, is it Cheaty, Chitey, Kitey, Cheaty. That's what it is. I'm sorry if you don't agree, but that's what it is. It is a Cheaty Q2. This is going to be a 270 by 270 by 256 millimeter build platform. It's basically a smaller version of their the Plus 4, which has been a solid printer, at least for me, especially for high temps. That's the thing that this comes in far above all the other entry-level printers, is a 370 degree Celsius hot end, 65 degree active chamber heating, 3-in-1 air filtration, but the price point too. The price point for just the printer itself is $499. In the combo with the Cheaty box, which is not yet released, it's supposed to be shipping soon, I believe. So we haven't seen a whole lot of feedback from that yet. But it's their AMS, the version of their AMS, and that's $649 for the combo. That's a pretty good deal, especially if you want to start printing some engineering stuff. 370 degrees covers a lot of materials that the 300 degree standard doesn't hit. So that's a really cool part of this. Right now, too, is if you go to the website, you subscribe to be notified. I think the first wave is going to get as low as $449 for the printer and $599 for the combo. Already great deals as their original price, but even better at sale price. So if you're looking to possibly get into one, you know, here might be something to do your research on. And last but not least, we talked about housing. We've talked about how typically it is almost always in Texas, especially if there's neighborhoods and huge divisions being built. This is no different. It's still Texas, but we finally are seeing something in not the Austin area, but the Houston area. They have started breaking ground in Houston. This is going to be Houston Zuri Gardens. It will be the city's first large-scale 3D printed affordable housing community. It'll be 13 acres with over 80 energy-efficient homes, averaging about 1,300 square foot, a little above 1,300 square foot per home. Not bad. Homes are aimed at households earning up to 120% of the area median income, basically the average income of the area. It's about $121,300 for a family of 4 in 2025. So buyers eligible up to $125,000 in down payment assistance. Crazy. 2 floor plans are going to be available: the Azizi and the Zahara. Both feature 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, an office, flex space, or 3D printing room. We know that. And a covered patio with differences in the flex space layout. Pricing lands in the mid to high 200,000s, combining affordability with sustainable materials. That was their wording, but really cool to see. Like I said, it's spreading. Eventually, we're going to talk about how it's, these communities are being built in other states other than Texas. But for right now, it's now Houston, which I like because then I can go take a stroll through the community once it's built next time I'm there. But that is it for the headlines. We're going to move over to see what you've printed over the last week in Spool to Spotlight. And first up, we have a print and design by Sermo. Why is that off center? Not now. And this is available on MakerWorld. It's the Desiccant Scoop with Funnel. You'll see it's by Jay Connex. Same person. Spoiler, I just doxed him. But we've all been there. You try to dump desiccant in something such as the little hygrometer for the poly dryer, and it's a mess everywhere. This is going to help with that. Scoop it, cover it, funnel it. Ideally, far less desiccant all over your floor for you to step on. I've never slipped on any yet, but I've come close. Next up, we have Dilligath that has printed the modular honeycomb storage. This is a design by the Titans 3D. It's available on Creality Cloud. I don't have an icon for that. This is the first time I've showed one that was shared with a Creality Cloud link, but there's files everywhere. You can find them anywhere. Doesn't matter where, as long as you enjoy printing it and it comes out cool. This is going to be storage containers that screw together and also have a cap. So you can store your nuts, bolts, pieces, parts, etc. And probably even scale them up if you want really big things. Next print is by Daddy Wazzy, and this is the Stacking Lunchbox by Lobo CNC, available on Maker World in multiple colors, which actually match up really well. I like the color choice that he made here. I think this is in Pet G, he said in his post. But of course, those clamps will come off. You'll have 4 separate snack containers, lunch containers, whatever you want to call them. I think he called it his munch box, which, speaking with looking at the picture, high chews in the background, among other things. Knowing Daddy Wazzy, it's probably butterscotch. You know those strawberry candies your grandma always had? He's old enough to probably have those now. So hats off, Daddy Wazzy. Next up, we have a print by Polymaker Tiffany. She printed the Chainsaw Man Pochita. I would imagine that's some type of pet or a dog. I don't know Chainsaw Man that well. But this design is by Skylar Zoo. It is available on Maker World to print yourself if you choose to do so. I mean, who doesn't want a pet with a chainsaw for a head? Multi-purpose, as long as you don't make them mad. And last but not least, we have Bearded Printer did not print that. That's a lie. I always forget something, don't I? Let's give credit where credit is due. Sharon P13, my apologies. You printed this, and this is a design by Loot Lab. Something somewhat newer that was actually created by the Kit Kiln, known for his chunky figures and everything else. Many awesome projects that he's worked on. Now he's got the Loot Lab, tons of fun little weapons, easy to print, multicolor stuff, available on Things. Just look up Loot Lab on Things, and you'll see more than just Mjolnir. You'll see swords and nunchucks and any other fun. I don't even want to call them weapons because they're not made to destroy things. Fun props. That's what we'll call them. But that is all the prints from last week. Actually, there's many more over on Show Off Prints channel in our Discord at discord.polymaker.com. Go check them out yourself. There's a lot of cool things there. Maybe get inspired to print something you never thought of, or share your good, bad, and ugly prints there, and you might be shown on the show next week. So that is all for those. We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to hop in to see who our next maker is, which it's not a surprise. I put it in the titles now on the scheduled YouTube show. But hopefully we can figure out the audio as we join in. So bear with us, and we'll see you here in just a minute.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you just been minding your own business and you drop your PLA print?
There's gotta be a better way.
Well, now there is. With our Polylite PLA Pro, you won't have to worry about dropping your PLA prints ever again. Just look how these tests held up to our drop test, the same one that we did with PLA. If you need even more impact resistance, make sure you check out our Polymax PLA. This hammer is no match for Polymax PLA.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're gonna put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model, and we're gonna drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go! Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor, and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on usage, individual factors, and external conditions. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Are you into cosplay and prop making? Are you tired of having to break out those power tools to sand those lines away? Don't forget about all that hand sanding. Cramps. Ouch. Introducing Polymaker's Cost PLA. Available in 2 different versions, version A and version B. Both versions are still easier to stand than standard PLA. Find out more at us.polymaker.com.
Aliens have come to take over our planet. What will we do? With modern technology and superior materials, we may have a chance. The only good bug is a dead bug. Polymaker. Add to your game.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. We are here to meet our next guest. And this guest, you might have seen him through TikTok or YouTube. I think you guys are familiar with Pokemon. I guess it's pretty popular. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. But no, this gentleman has taken Pokemon. And we've seen them 3D printed. Obviously, we have Polymaker figurines. We see them printed all the time. But it's not often you see them 3D printed and living. So let's meet our next maker, and please welcome in OfficerGranite. How's it going?
It's going as well as.
Yeah. Seems we might have some lag. Let me see if I can turn it up here. So I kind of prepped them for some audio problems, possibly. We'll see what we can get done here. And I'll try to kind of translating, kind of, if I repeat what you say, it's just so they can hear it clearer.
No, that's no problem. This internet is.
You got dial up over there? Yeah, he's got a 28K modem, is what it is. 28.8.
I don't even.
Here we go. Got some of the was that Pidgey and Ecans, I think it is, if I'm right. I'm starting to learn these Pokemon. I think it's lagging behind, or I'm not hearing any feedback now.
Well, I muted it for that cough just a second ago.
Okay, I seen the cough, I just didn't hear it, so appreciated. It doesn't blow out all of our eardrums.
Yeah, no.
So real quick, we'll see what we can translate from it. Is before we get into kind of what you've been doing on your YouTube and your TikTok with the Pokemon stuff, let's go back to the beginning of getting into 3D printing. Was there something specific that got you into it, or what made you start 3D printing?
Well, I've always thought it was pretty cool and tinker and just mess with stuff, and 3D printing kind of seemed right up that alley. So I signed a $9 Anycubic that I got off eBay, and I liked it enough to sink money in.
Went down the rabbit hole. So you kind of did the same thing, most of us do, is we find a cheap used one to start off with, especially years ago, because it was a little bit more expensive to hop into it. But it's usually the Ender 3, but you had an Anycubic then. Was that like the Anycubic i3 or something? Do you remember what it was called? I think it had a few different ones.
It was or something like that. Once I got tired of it, I did go to an Ender 3.
Yep. I think everybody's had, other than in the last, 2.5, what is it, 2.5, 3 years since the bamboo came out. I think 90, I would say 90% or more of people started off on the Ender 3, or at some point had an Ender 3 that they use for sure. Now, with, of course, you got the Ender 3 that you've had. Do you still have the Ender 3 or the Anycubic that you started with? Oh, you cut out there. Heard the Anycubic, and then that was it.
I have 2 Ender 3s.
Okay, 2 Ender 3s. And is that what you run primarily now, or do you have any other ones you added to the mix or added resin or anything?
The channel really needs large format printing, but it's out of the price range where I'm gonna have to keep chugging along.
Got to make whatever we can work work, and that's the thing, which we've all started there anyway. Like I said, you always start at something and then build up. And I'm a sucker for Facebook Marketplace, so I'm not sure. I don't know exactly your location, but Marketplace for me is where I found a lot of my printers old, and then now that I've upgraded to new ones, I found some great deals new. So do you scour the internet for deals?
That's the plan. That's the plan. Until the plan.
There you go. Now, so of course, and we'll talk about here in a second, is the animatronic Pokemon that you've been doing. Other than that, do you print anything to sell, or is 3D printing solely just the hobby to make cool live creatures?
Kind of a hobby at this point. I'll print some stuff out for my cosplay buddies. Don't really sell anything.
Okay. Now, are you the go-to 3D printer person in your friend group? Like, if somebody wants something done, they call you up and say, "Hey, I need this. Can you make it?"
You too.
Oh, kind of broke up there. What was the response to that? I only heard like a word to it.
That's the role that I've fallen into. Yeah.
There you go. Now, of course, we've mentioned the Pokemon animatronics. The OfficerGranite is kind of like the park ranger for the Pokemon. Do you, on the Pokemon you do, I know you've done a handful already, quite a few, whether some simple movements or more articulated movements, is the modeling of the Pokemon, are you getting these files elsewhere, modifying them, or are you creating these from scratch?
So I'm completely illiterate. Just source the files that I like, and then break them down.
Basically, cut them into pieces, and figure out how to make everything move.
Hollow them out, see what I want to move, and just.
Now, with the programming, of course, you have a lot of them just simple servos, but you still got a way to command those and control them. Do you have a background into that, or is that just something you kind of use YouTube for?
Yeah. Nope. And I'm even more illiterate when it comes to Arduino. Everything I build is built off of remote.
Okay. So Arduino is usually your go-to controller or programmable board?
No, I like airplanes and cars and stuff. Like, I cannot program to save my life. Batteries, and there's no coding whatsoever.
Okay, so it's just kind of on off. Standard circuitry?
Yes. If we were to crack one of these open, it would have identical components to an RC airplane or an RC boat.
Okay. So you still got a base off there, and then nowadays, have you thought about trying to integrate the Chat GPT or anything to help with any advanced coding or getting anything more than what you already do?
But I'm trying to use it to help me get a grip on Arduino because there is some stuff you can see that it's literally just a servo with a push rod on a hinge that goes to a little controller in my hand. It's not complicated whatsoever.
So now on the once you've modified, I know you said you use kind of source out the files and then modify them from there. Is it something that you offer, for people to download? Is on the Patreon or in any other sites that they could download the same kits that you're making?
So if I finish a project and don't have complete brain fog, I'm available on my Patreon. Some builds I have to make changes on and I don't go back and adjust the model, so those tend to not be released.
Okay, yeah. If they're just rough and you make them work just to work.
Force on somebody.
Yep. No, that's completely fair, understandable. Now, is there of course, how many have you created so far that you fully finished and painted and made move, etc.?
If we're not counting species, I've made 14 animatronics.
Okay, so 14 animatronics. And then now, do you have any?
Each Pidgey is just the Pidgey movements added and stuff like that.
Now, on do you have any upcoming Pokemon that you're working on that you can talk about, or anyone that you plan on that like is your go-to that you want to do?
This week, I'm kind of not wanting to start anything, but I have started printing for a Belgium large stuff, but I can't do anything until I get a bigger printer, because otherwise 200 cube build plate.
Yeah,
and
limits
then
you.
gluing them and melting them together.
Fair. Now, when you do, of course,
Like
you do a lot of... Oh, what's that? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I've got the idea and the models made like my Ekans does. I don't have the printer to make that happen right now, though.
So now, of course, with the limit of the size that you can print, and you have to do it in sections, put them all together. Do you have a go-to adhesive? Do you use 3D glue, or do you use super glue, or what's your go-to to combine all the pieces?
So when I'm at where if it's pieces, I will model in a 2-point that's just big enough for a piece of filament to fit in.
Okay.
And I end up just using those as just melting the seam together.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that way then it's fused.
Because my electronics are easy way to crack it back open to change them out.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, I guess
So
I
I
didn't think
try
about
not
the
to
fact that
use
something
glues
fails.
when if I can. Failed servos that I've had to go back in. I used glue on the first 3 that I built, and I
Learned your lesson real quick then.
Yeah, if I had to crack open one with a putty, we'll never do that again.
That's how you slice your hand open or something crazy, just trying to get it open to make some simple modifications.
I almost did. There's ice on it, and it slipped, and the camera caught it, and I just
least you have all 10 fingers though, right?
Yeah.
It could always be worse. Now, is once you get to the point that you get other printers or get larger printers, what is the first Pokemon like large print that you plan on doing? Or even if it's not Pokemon, what's the first large print you'd like to do once you get a bigger printer?
Soaking stuff that is handheld. One, to make it easier on myself to print, but I'd love to say Charmeleon or War Turtle or something like that. Just
Okay.
stuff that's slightly.
So there was stuff that's slightly what?
Stuff that's slightly bigger than what I'm making now, but
Oh, yeah, it keeps cutting off about halfway through. But now with all the Pokemon, and he said like Charmeleon, things like that, that might be kind of your first bigger one to do. Out of all the Pokemon, who is your go-to favorite Pokemon? Not to print, but just overall.
well, funny enough, it has become Pidgey. It just kind of happened because the first Pidgey that I exercised to print in one go on the build plate. And so I made that. It has become my unironic favorite.
Just through the whole process of doing, because how many iterations have you done of the Pidgey?
The third version.
I'm
I add something every time. The initial one, it up, down, left, right, head movement. The second iteration had a beak that opened as well. The third, so each one just gets something new added. And all of those at the end of last year that I'm putting upgrades in right now for Dragon Con. And I just think of ways to make mechanisms work and then try to retrofit to make
Okay.
it happen.
you plan on going to Dragon Con? Are you planning to do go as Officer Granite with the Pokemon, or are you plan on doing some type of dragon build for it?
Oh yeah. I have a weapons case that I got at a thrift store that currently has 6 of my animatronics and is functional as going. Just because I've learned to carry things will break, and I want extras just in case.
Oh yeah. Especially going to a show, you're guaranteed something's gonna fail. My experience with shows, it's never perfect. You just gotta be more prepared each time.
Oh yeah.
Now with the of course the moniker of Officer Granite, what is the significance of that? You know, obviously officer kind of park ranger type setup. Yeah, where did the name come from?
So before I was really into hockey and all this other stuff, I thought it would be funny to create a character that the main character, and you're aware of that.
Okay, yep.
So I started making Jack Hanna, Steve Photoshop in animated game sprites.
Okay, yeah.
And I eventually made Pidge. You can make more animatronics and not have to use these game sprites, and it'll look a whole lot better. Here's the posted the full Pidgey and the cost, my YouTube channel jumped like 6,000 subscribers in like 2 days. Like doing it, and people like that I do it, so we're just gonna keep doing it until the wheels fall off.
There you go. Well, like you said, is you have the sprites. It would likely, can't predict any future, but you likely want to have that growth with just standard sprites. I'm sure it was the fact that it was kind of a real life Pokemon.
No. Then you guys started helping me out back in October of last year, and I've been able to do that, and we've grown together, and in my opinion, it's a fantastic partnership.
Oh yeah, no, I always enjoy, like I said, it's seeing the different things.
Like, hey, I got some weird ideas with some Pokemon, and y'all never said.
Hey, we like weird ideas. Like I said, we like out of the box, and things that you don't see. It's one thing to print a Pokemon, which a lot of people do, and which is great. If you whatever you love, print it. But it's different than like I said, of taking it from a figure to an animatronic. And then of course seeing the different builds of animatronics, like you said, the changes you're making, the beaks moving, the heads moving, body swivels, wings flapping, etc. It's cool to see those and just see the growth of what you're figuring out and doing, especially too that you're still, as you said, kind of a binary programming setup, just kind of on off, and still making things work. So it's fun to see.
Yeah,
and I know people enjoy it.
The thing that blows people away when I talk to them and say I have no engineering background. I do not understand Blender, Microsoft 3D Builder.
That's my go-to.
That is it.
That 100% is my go-to. I don't model a whole lot, but I like modifying stuff.
Possibly. And I just brute force how I want to do it until it happens.
Yep. There you go. So the thing is, when you're having fun with it, it's easy to put in.
Repair the model or something.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, it's the repairing the manifolds, like where it doesn't let you mess with it until it's repaired. Well, that's what I think. Just 3D printing overall is nice.
Do it and we make some awesome stuff.
Always fun to create new things.
The best part of this.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too, is having that patience of just be able to go into it, and then and having the patience and the passion kind of put together is you're gonna try harder, you're gonna keep make a mistake, move on from it, and I'm sure there's many times you've sliced a file or try to modify a file and didn't work, modified it again, didn't work. I'm sure there was probably a lot of back and forth, especially in the beginning. I'm sure you're kind of getting past the learning curve and getting a little bit better, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, but we've got to get the channel in a particular spot with partnerships and stuff I'm happy with.
Yeah.
We still make some really cool stuff, and it's all worth it when I go to a convention or seeing what's on my shoulder, what's on my arm, just carrying around Pokemon that are looking at them and interacting with them.
Now, with Pokemon being around for so long, do you get more of a response from kids or more of a response from adults? Or is it a good 50-50 mix?
A lot of people my age, millennials, grew up on it, and they're letting their kids see the old stuff. The pandemic that happened is everyone realized that the world can be a mean place. Sometimes and I've found that lesson myself, and I'm just riding it.
There you go. Keep on making awesome, fun things, and I'm sure with you, it's just to have even one person smile or ask about it makes it worth the trip or the con that you go to.
Oh, it's definitely.
And now and I'll reach out to community here. I know it'll be delayed on our end, but if anybody has any questions for Officer Granite on projects that he's done or projects that he's working on or anything of the nature or anything in general, if you just want to ask him, hey, what's up, you can ask him what's up. But throw your questions in chat, and I want to move over to the multi-stream so I can see everybody's chat. There we go. Okay. Yeah, while we're waiting for any questions to come in, there is with filament and everything. So when you're printing all these, is your go-to just automatically PLA, or have you tried anything else?
I had ABS one time, and I will never do it again.
Yeah.
It was a debacle.
Especially 2 on under 3 is a little bit
my-
rough.
Yeah, and I know what I can get away with it, and it's just a safe medium that
No, that's PLA, of course, easy to print anyway, and then it's not like these things are getting put outside on a pedestal. So have you ever had, with it being PLA, have you ever had like a hot car or anything that's deformed them or messed with them?
I've had.
Nope, it broke up there. It ended at
It's
I had.
never fun in a car.
Here, hold on here. Let me. 1 second here. I'm trying to mess with my chat. Come on. Bear with me.
Out well.
What's that?
I've definitely left a couple in a car before, and it didn't work out well.
A little whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, that was fun to remake.
See here. Yeah, for anybody joining in late, we know there's an audio thing. Hopefully you can kind of understand it, and I try to translate things that not. But if anybody's got any questions for Officer Granite, I had my chat and it cleared everything out, and I'm now pulling up each stream and seeing that there's actually chat. So go here and here. Yes, that Officer Granite is a real life cyborg. Actually, I bet you the way that you sound, the way that it's delaying and the vibrato, whatever you want to call it, you sound like a Dalek or Dalek, whatever, the officer or the Doctor Who. the exterminate thing. I bet you if you said exterminate, it'd probably come out pretty cool. Yes, he does, a Dalek. Okay, see, I was right. Yeah, Dalek. I don't know my Doctor Who stuff very well, but I just know the Daleks and they say exterminate. Now, when you are printing these, and of course, typically it's PLA, almost always PLA. Do you go with certain colors? Do you try to keep a base color depending on how it's going to be painted or what's going to be put over it? Or is it kind of just gray and then you paint it and finish it?
I like to get the most bang for my buck packs of the draft PLA.
Yes, yeah.
Because I know I'm going to put primer on it anyway.
So yeah, the color and finish doesn't matter.
And that's how I figure out what I'm doing. It does. I always go for bang for buck.
Oh yeah, like I said, especially if you're going to be finishing it anyway. There's why am I going to get a galaxy or a special color when you're never going to have an idea what that color is?
The only time I used something special was when I used some different props that needed to be really smooth.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah, because rough or draft PLA has a little bit, I want to say a rough texture to it, but not super smooth.
It's not as easy to finish as the cos PLA is.
Yep. Yeah, well, yeah, cos PLA, and actually we found out too, it's our HT PLA. That stuff actually sands maybe better than Cos PLA. I don't know if we really want to say it, but it sands very, very well, very easily. And then of course it has that higher temp, or the high temp deflection. So it doesn't melt as you're trying to sand it too much. Unless you're sanding like a crazy man, then you'll still melt it down. Then Bill A, and not a question, but yeah, I think that might be a mic issue. We tried to run the mic issue stuff pre-show, and even through phone and everything, it was still doing it. So it's just the internets around him. They don't agree with him.
There's a storm happening 3 miles away. It's probably got something to do with it too. So
there you go. Let's see here. Regular HCPLA. Sorry if that was loud for everybody. I was crushing a bottle. PLA is a little worse to say. Okay, yeah. Polymaker Pete's asking, what is your dream printer, and then what features for that printer?
I'm with a bigger print bed than I'm using now. I don't care if it's any faster. I don't care if it's anything like that. I
just want big. Is there any that you've had your eye on that you like, whether a good sale price or somebody you found a good deal on Facebook, like one that you'd really like to have?
I would love to get hold of one of the Neptune Maxes.
Okay, yeah, the Neptune 3 and the Neptune 4 Max.
I think that's what I've got. That's what I've got it narrowed down to, if the opportunity ever arises.
There you go. That's my thing. I tell anybody is just when they always ask, how do you find these deals? Facebook Marketplace daily. It's one of my routines is just going through Facebook Marketplace, finding things that I don't need. Yeah, or that you can get that. People are saying the Orange Storm Giga. That'd be big.
They were selling a print farm for a couple $100, and
it ended at they were selling a print farm for a couple $100, and then I'm not sure what you said.
Yeah, I missed out on it because like 8 months ago.
That's the worst. That's why I tell people is number one, I check Facebook Marketplace daily, and the other thing is if it's a really good deal, like it doesn't matter. My wife luckily understands how stupid I am and knows that if it's 11 o'clock at night and I have to drive an hour to go pick up something, if it's a really good deal, I'm driving to get it, because if I don't, somebody's going to take it the next morning before I can get over there. Yeah, but I think let's see here, make sure I didn't miss anything else. Because yeah, everybody doing the FOMO is real. Net 7, it's so true. But real quick, I know of course we have your Patreon link shown on the screen, but you also are on YouTube and TikTok. I'll kind of translate for you just so they can understand.
YouTube, TikTok, I've got this year I've got, but no, it's usually just those 3 plus Patreon. The goal by the end of the year away.
There you go. Yeah, so it's OfficerGranite across all platforms, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, so if you guys whether you like Pokemon or not, or you just want to see cool animatronic designs, especially based, like he said, he has no background into doing animatronics or electrical engineering or coding or anything of that nature. This guy is a good example of showing you can do it with simple things and still have a good effect and just have fun with it. So definitely follow him. Is there anything else that you want to promote or throw out there before I let you go?
Go for it. I mean, you gotta make mistakes to make progress, and I built my channel based on that.
Yeah, just and like you said, it's just the persistence is you're gonna mess up. Some things aren't gonna they're gonna fall flat, but he said is just keep at it, keep going, and especially doing what you enjoy doing or what you love makes it that much simpler. So yeah, but I greatly appreciate you coming on the show. I'm sorry that we couldn't get out the audio stuff to work out, but I think we understood enough to know. But again, everybody, if you want to go follow him, but thank you for coming on the show, and I'm sure we will talk soon.
Absolutely. I was so happy to come on here and talk with you and just appreciate it.
Nope, I appreciate you, and we'll catch you maybe at the next event. Dragon Con sounds pretty popular to a lot of people, so I might have to make a visit.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night, man. See ya.
All right.
There you have it, Officer Granite, over again on YouTube, on TikTok, on all the things. Officer Granite across the board. Go follow him. Thank you everybody that stayed and dealt with the audio thing. We tried fixing it prior to the show. We tried using phone, different connection, just couldn't get it. But that's what happens when you do a live show. You just got to roll with the punches and make it work. And I appreciate those that have stayed. And as I said, Officer Granite, great guy, fun stuff, whether you're a Pokemon fan or not, does cool things. So let me get over here. We're going to talk about real quick first the giveaway that we do. We do this every show unless it's not live, but today it's live. So there it is. Teacher, I am awesome. Entered into the chats on YouTube and on Twitch. It's working both ways. We've got to figure it out. Golf claps, because we can now actually give away filament to YouTube or Twitch. Up in the air. It's randomized. I can't control it, people. Dragon Con is often how people first found out that you can copyright, trademark carpet patterns. Really? I didn't know that. Learned something new. Thank you, Critter42, for the heads up information. But we're going to mention a couple of things while you guys are typing I am awesome. We have projects ongoing all the time. First one up, exclamation point PMF in chat, and that's going to be Polymaker Figurines led by Antoine Dimensions. And he's only got 5, 6 left. Just did the last ultimate. I don't know the things very well, but the last big one. And like I said, I think he's got 5 left. And then what's next? I mean, he does videos every couple days, every few days. So those are going to disappear pretty quick. Something's in the chamber. You're just going to have to follow him to find out. And that's going to be Polymaker Figurines across all the platforms. We also have Polymaker Education, and that's led by Creatrix Brit, where, and I guess also pick up Polymaker Figurines the same way, as she releases videos, the models that she shows off become available for free to download on her Maker World and printables account, Polymaker Space Education. Just type in Polymaker Education. You're going to find it. Polymaker Figurines is on Maker World, and I can never remember. I think it's Antoine Dimensions Figurines. If you type in Pokemon Figurines in Maker World, it should be like the top thing. So there's that. Yeah, and then again, Britt doing the Polymaker Education, and that is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the other ones. I don't. The socials. You'll see it. Polymaker Education. That's us, or that's Britt doing it for us. So hats off to her. We also have exclamation point PML, which is Polymaker Labs. That's led by Polymaker Sean. Who, if you tuned in to Feedback Hour with Sean just a couple hours ago at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, that same gentleman adorns a lab coat and becomes none other than the Polymaker scientist to give you tips, tricks, and troubleshooting on how to fix things, not just filament related, but possibly printer related, but just a good source of information. So go follow him. That is on TikTok, and it's also on YouTube, hosted by somebody, I don't know, but TikTok is the main channel. But we also lastly have exclamation point IPC, and that's in printing color with Pezliz. That is every Monday, every Wednesday at twitch.tv/Pezliz, where she goes over the different colors and surface effects and things that we release as we release them, ideally as we release them. Sometimes there's some fluff ups, never on my part. I never mess anything up. But you want to learn about new colors that we have coming out and how to use them, or what they look like in certain ways, or combined with different colors, there's the place to check it out. So go give her a follow. And then that's it for now. We don't have any other projects. We have some coming up, different things. We'll see. There's maybe another show coming up that might be a Saturday show, Sunday show. I don't remember. I'll have to follow up. A weekend show. But as we finalize all that, we'll announce it and let you guys know there. We're going to do some giveaway. Some giveaway. Why would you say some giveaway if it's one? It's singular. Anyway, we're at 99 entries. Can we get to 100? Oh, never mind. You already bumped it up to 100 and 101. So, as always, we are here every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Meet the Polymaker, where we meet a new maker every single week, every single episode. 76 episodes in, with infinite to come. We'll see. But appreciate the support from the beginning, from the middle, even today. If you're new joining and you're watching now, audio is typically a little bit better, but we have fun with it. We like to share stuff, whether it be prints or news or just another maker in the field doing fun things that we can share and show off. But we're gonna do a giveaway. It's over here. I still 76 episodes in. I can't even get that right. This right here. That's my mic. See my mic? You can just see it. Anyway, like a child. Let's see. Once we do the giveaway, boom, 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 boom. We're gonna rate it out. But who are we gonna rate out to? And again, if you hear my voice, you see my face, you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch, you can right now type in "I am awesome" to have a chance to win some filament. Yeah, I increased my volume. I apologize, Tim Talon. But real quick, while we're waiting for the last entries to come in here, Greg, Polymaker Greg, does a stream on Monday, Gregory's Content Corner. You learn about some like behind the scenes stuff and his adventure into 3D printing. Tuesday, we have our community chat at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, where we just talk to the community. We share some stuff. I usually try to have a cool print every week that I do that I can show off. Things we talk about are events, things coming up. Maybe hint some leaks here and there. You never know what we're going to do there. Wednesday, we have Tiffany that does the Amateur Maker Hour. And same 3D printing journey and kind of what she's been working on. And you guys definitely have helped her along the way, too. So that is on Wednesday. Thursday at 5 p.m., we have Sean with the Feedback Hour, which we just mentioned. And 7 p.m., we have Meet the Polymaker. 2 mics at the same time? Really? Oh, it does. Sorry about that. Why did that turn on? That's these things right here, which are not... Apologies, everybody. I'll assume that the echo just started, like, shortly. Or did it change when I came to this scene? Sounds like the feedback hour is going on right now. Was there other audio? Felt like like Sunday, all new monster truck rally. Anyway, we're gonna do. I promise, we're actually going to draw for some filament here. But I am seeing who we got to raid out to. Let's go back to Twitch chat. Nothing against YouTube chat. I just haven't figured out any raids there. I don't even know how it works. I don't even know if I can do it from here. But I know how to do Twitch raids. I think there we go. Okay, we are going to raid out to wonderful individual. It's part of the community, Silverback Creations. He's been getting into tabletop stuff lately and doing a ton of dioramas, minis, and everything else in FDM, and they're turning out good stuff. Learning, doing paint techniques and all that stuff. More patience than I have. So let's hear him do a drawing, and then let's go say hi to Silverback Creations and give him some love. But first, who wins? YouTube or Twitch? Battle of the Centuries. Tink Live over on Twitch. Congratulations. I think you recently won. But you know how to get a hold of me. So go ahead and reach out. I will get you that filament on its way. Other than that, appreciate you guys' support. Love you always. See you here Tuesday, 7 p.m. If you're bored, come hang out. We have a good time. So go give our love over to Silverback Creations and tell them Polymaker said, yo, what's up? See you guys later.